Welcome to another truck hardware installation tutorial. Today, we're installing our Gatorback mud flaps on a 2022 Ford Lightning. These flaps are a great way to protect and improve the overall look of your vehicle. As always, remember that this video is to be used as a companion to the included installation instructions. This installation uses a fair bit of hardware, so in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen you will see the hardware used during specific steps of the installation. This hardware is labeled the same as it is on your install sheet. Before you start, make sure that all the hardware and custom design brackets included with your kit are present and ready for installation. With all that out of the way, let's get started on the front of the vehicle. To start, remove the push pin from the bottom of the fender. And then remove the two factory screws from the inner wheel well. Next, grab the bracket included in your kit and attach a spring nut onto the top hole. Make sure to position the nut onto the bracket the same way we did. Now grab a 1.5-inch cap screw and small nylon washer, and place them through the bottom hole on the cladding seen here. Once through the hole, place a nylon spacer over top of this hardware on the other side of the cladding. With this hardware all in place, position your bracket over top of the cap screw and factory bolt located on the inside of the cladding. Then secure the bracket to these bolts using two sets of nylon washers, stainless steel washers, lock washers, and hex nuts. Please note that you need to use a 1/4-inch hex nut to secure the black cap screw, and an M6-1 hex nut for the factory bolt. Next, grab your mud flap and place a supplied mounting clip into the top hole of the flap. Loosely secure it in place using a slotted washer and a 5/8-inch cap screw. Make sure the slot on your washer lines up with the slot on the clip. Repeat this step for the next hole on the flap. With the flap ready, let's start attaching it to the vehicle using two sets of sheet metal screws and small hole flat washers. Once loosely secured to the vehicle, take the mount clips you installed earlier and slide them behind the fender lip. An example of how the clips should sit can be seen in the following footage. When you have them behind the fender, loosely fasten the clips in place. Now move to the inside of the mud flap and secure the next hole of the flap to the bracket behind using a 3/8-inch cap screw and a large hole flat washer. This hardware will install into the spring nut on the bracket behind the mud flap, so you don't need any hardware to secure it in place. Next, place a 1-inch cap screw and large hole flat washer into the last hole on the mud flap. Secure this hardware in the back using a nylon washer, a flat washer, a lock washer, and a hex nut. This hardware can be seen fully installed in the following clip. With a square or other leveling tool, make sure the mud flap is level. We also recommend you take a step back and visually gauge the mud flap to check that it is aligned correctly. Once your flap is level, secure all fasteners. We suggest you tighten this hardware by hand and be careful not to over tighten any fasteners. Your front mud flaps are installed. Now let's move on to the rear of the vehicle. To start, remove the 3 factory push pins from the front of the factory guard. Then remove the push pin circled here from the underside of the vehicle. Then, using a 1/4 inch bolt and a 1 inch black flat washer, attach the bracket supplied with your kit to the hole on the underside of the vehicle. Secure this hardware in place using a nylon washer, a flat washer, a lock washer, and a hex nut. This hardware can be seen fully installed in the following clip. Now we will begin attaching the flap to the vehicle. Attach the hole shown here using a screw and flat washer. Secure this hardware to the back of the flap using a nylon washer, a stainless steel washer, a lock washer, and a hex nut. This hardware can be seen fully installed in the following clip. Now move down and attach the 2 center holes of the flap using 2 sets of screws and black flat washers. We will be securing this hardware into a strip washer on the back of the flap. The strip washer will need to be placed behind the 2 factory holes on the fender as seen here. Once your strip washer is in place, secure your flap to it using 2 sets of screws and flat washers. Now secure the flap to the bracket using 2 sets of flat washers and machine screws. With the flap now roughly in place, take a marker and mark the position of the top 2 holes in the mud flap onto the fender lip. Now move the mud flap aside and position 2 strips of Durastrip included with your kit over these marks. With the Durastrip in place to protect the paint on your vehicle, install 2 spring nuts directly over top of the marked areas. Then secure your flap to the spring nuts using 2 sets of cap screws and flat washers. With a square or other leveling tool, make sure the mud flap is level. We also recommend you take a step back and visually gauge the mud flap to check that it is aligned correctly. Once your flap is level, secure all fasteners. Congratulations, you've just finished installing your Gatorback mud flaps. If you found this video helpful, give us a like and subscribe. Check out the rest of our channel and website for additional tips, tricks, and installation guides. Thanks for choosing Truck Hardware.